Good afternoon, everyone. I wish I could be there with you in Las Vegas, but I'm joining you virtually from Washington, D.C., where, as you might imagine, the Commission's work never slows down, even during a government shutdown. That said, it's a real pleasure to take part in this year's Mobile World Congress, and thank you to the hosts, CTIA and GSMA, for once again bringing together such an incredible community of innovators, policymakers, and industry leaders. In just a few short years, you've turned Las Vegas into a hub for tech policy and wireless leadership conversations that resonate all the way back here in Washington, D.C. When I told my colleagues I'd be dialing into Vegas, they knew it wasn't for the slot machines. It was to talk about spectrum, infrastructure, and America's place in the global race for wireless leadership. And that leadership matters, not just for consumers or the economy, but for America's national security and global competitiveness. The facts speak for themselves. The U.S. wireless industry invests tens of billions of dollars every year, adds tens of thousands of new towers, connects nearly 580 million Americans to mobile communications, and supports tens of millions of jobs. Those investments don't just keep us connected, they keep us competitive and secure. Mobile data traffic is projected to grow by roughly 12% annually per smartphone through 2030. That kind of growth means we need new capacity, new spectrum, and new technologies, from 6G to AI-powered networks built on a foundation of trust and resilience. So while I can't join you in person, I'm here to tell you that the FCC is all in on U.S. leadership in wireless. Earlier this year, I spoke about creating a golden age of communications, a moment when American innovation, investment, and ingenuity converge to deliver both unprecedented opportunity and unmatched security. Wireless will be at the very center of that vision. It's the connective tissue linking every sector of our economy, from defense and energy to healthcare, transportation, and education. Our challenge and our opportunity is to ensure that this golden age is built on trusted, secure, and resilient networks that reflect American values and leadership. In my first few months at the Commission, we've been moving quickly under Chairman Carr's Build America agenda, a comprehensive plan to modernize infrastructure rules, streamline deployment, and ensure the United States remains the world's preeminent wireless innovator. Last month, the FCC voted to build on reforms launched under the first Trump administration to reduce state and local barriers to deployment and accelerate network build-out. We're reviewing environmental timelines and historic preservation rules to make them more efficient, modernizing pole attachment processes, and making it easier to move projects from the planning phase to the construction phase. Because when America builds, America leads. We're also taking a fresh look at the regulatory landscape through the Chairman's Delete, Delete, Delete initiative, eliminating obsolete rules and unnecessary red tape that impose costs without benefits. This is more than just a regulatory cleanup. It's a competitive necessity. Around the world, governments are moving aggressively to advance national wireless strategies, and we can't let outdated regulations hold back American companies from winning the next generation of wireless innovation. Now, no area better demonstrates the need for leadership than spectrum policy. Spectrum is the lifeblood of wireless communications. It's also a strategic resource, vital to our economy, our national defense, and our international standing. Thanks to President Trump and Congress, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act renewed the FCC's spectrum auction authority and created a pipeline of 800 megahertz of spectrum for commercial use, a once-in-a-decade opportunity to strengthen America's spectrum position. Our priority is making at least 100 megahertz in the upper C-band available for high-power licensed use within 2 years. This band has the potential to turbocharge 5G, pave the way for 6G, and give U.S. providers the spectrum they need to compete globally. This isn't just an economic imperative, it's a national security one. Other nations have made 5G and 6G part of their industrial and military strategies. America must continue to lead in secure, trusted communications technologies that protect our data, our critical infrastructure, and our allies. Now, having served on both the Senate Commerce and Armed Services Committees, I've seen firsthand how communications policy and national defense policy are deeply intertwined. That experience shapes how I approach spectrum management today, not as a zero-sum competition between federal and commercial users, but as a shared mission to advance both innovation and security. As we move forward to implement the One Big Beautiful Bill, the FCC and NTIA must work hand in hand to ensure that any federally held spectrum is repurposed efficiently, transparently, and with full regard for critical national security missions. We can and must strike the right balance, building on lessons learned from past coordination challenges to ensure that the United States leads with both strength and strategy. This is especially important when it comes to U.S. participation in international standard-setting bodies. These global meetings and conferences are foundational to our ability to promote American values, economic competitiveness, and our national security and strategic interests. When we lead in spectrum, we set the standards. We define the future, not our adversaries. The bottom line is that spectrum policy is not just a telecom policy anymore. It's technology policy, economic policy, and national security policy all rolled into one. Our allies look to the United States for leadership on secure, interoperable systems, and our adversaries look for opportunities to outpace or outmaneuver us. We must ensure the former and deny the latter. At the FCC, my priorities remain clear: expanding universal connectivity and protecting consumers, strengthening the security and resilience of our telecommunications networks, and restoring and advancing America's leadership in next-generation communications. Smart spectrum policy and market-driven innovation are the key to all three. America excels when we let market forces, ingenuity, and entrepreneurship drive progress. So as you look at opportunities ahead, 6G, AI native networks, Open RAN, space-based connectivity, I hope you'll go all in with us. You've gone all in before with 3G, 4G, and 5G. You've built denser networks, unlocked MIMO efficiency, and connected more Americans to fast, reliable mobile broadband. Now it's time to do it again and to ensure that America's next leap forward keeps us ahead of our competitors and aligned with our allies. Together, we can make sure that this decade truly defines the golden age of communications, one where the United States leads the world not only in innovation and connectivity, but in freedom, security, and trust. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today. I look forward to continuing our partnership from DC to Las Vegas and beyond as we go all in on U.S. wireless leadership. Thank you.